Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about solving two-step inequality. So you will, let's say inequalities. Before this, you should know how to solve equations, and then you should also know how to solve inequalities with one step. But this video is about solving two-step inequalities. So let's say you have a question like this. So 7n minus 1 is greater than negative 169. Now, the best strategy is to treat the inequality as an equal sign. So if that is if you're struggling with inequalities and it looks different, then just treat it like an equal sign. And remember to replace the equal sign at the end with the symbol. So that's one strategy. Okay, so we take the numbers to the right. Whatever you do on one side, you got to do it on the other side. So a negative and a positive is cancelled. 7n is equal to negative 168. I'm still not done. So 7n is like 7 times n, and the opposite of times is division. So you divide on both sides. So 7 over 7 is 1. So 1n is nothing but n is equal to negative 24. Now the question is, sometimes we are not done here yet. There are two things that I want to point out. One, you need to put the symbol back. But sometimes, what if you're confused about this negative sign right here? I'm going to change my color so you can figure this out. So just because there is a negative in the numerator, you didn't have to change anything for the denominator. You didn't times or divide with any negative number. So you're not going to flip the sign. Okay, so you're just going to leave the same symbol, and there ends your answer. That's it. That is the solution for that inequality. Now your next inequality is like this. So there are two ways to solve this question. So question number 2, it's negative 4 bracket negative 4 plus x is greater than 56. Now the first method is, if the minute you see a bracket, if you're used to Rayleigh technique, that's fine. That's distributive law, so you multiply the outside with inside. So negative 4 times negative 4, that's your 16. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x, which is greater than 56. Now solving just like any other equation, letters to the left, numbers to the right. If you're moving something, do the opposite on both sides. So this brings negative 4x is greater than 40. Now dividing both sides with negative 4, because negative 4x means negative 4 times x. So you're getting rid of that negative 4 by dividing negative 4 on both sides, right? Now when you are dividing with the negative number, so this is the observation that you need to make. So what is the observation here? Since you are dividing with a negative 4, right, you need to flip the symbol of inequality. So that is the notice that you are going to do. X, flip the symbol, negative 10. So whenever you are either multiplying or dividing with negative numbers, remember to flip the symbol. So we started off with facing this way. Now we are concluding facing it the other way. All right, and this happens only when you are dividing or multiplying with a negative number. Now the same question can also be solved in another way. Okay, so I'm going to do it right here, right next to it, like you can see it as a mirror. So when you have negative 4 times negative 4 plus x is greater than 56, right? So we know that negative 4 bracket is times. That's an invisible times that we should know. So the opposite of times is division. So I'm getting rid of this negative 4 straight away. Okay, so now you have negative 4 plus x greater than, now 56 divided by negative 4, that would be negative 14. Now numbers to the right, letters to the left, right? So x stays here. So negative and a positive cancels. Whatever you do on one side, you did it on both sides, right? So you got to do it on the other side. So plus 4 plus 4. Now x is greater than negative 10. But initially, when I divided with the negative sign, I got to flip my symbol. So this is another shortcut that you can do rather than expanding the brackets. When you are dividing with a negative number, straight away you could have flipped the symbol. Or in the end, I remember that I divided it with a negative number. So that's why my inequality has been now flipped. So whichever method is easier for you, you can proceed. But again, we are revolving around the same 5 golden rules of solving equations. So the same thing is applied in inequalities as well. So I hope this is helpful. Okay, so when you have brackets, whichever method is easier for you, whichever method is you're comfortable with and familiar with, stick with it, right? Just remember, whenever you're dividing or multiplying with negative numbers, you need to flip the symbol. Thanks, guys. Hope this video is helpful. All right, watch out for some more videos. Have a wonderful, blessed day.